Hi, Kiet. Hi, Tai.
Hello, teacher.
Okay. Today we're going to do some speaking again. We're going to ask and answer questions, okay? Okay, Tai, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Kiet, now the questions we're asking is, for example, do you think traveling, so we're talking about traveling, do you think traveling by bus is cheap? Do you think traveling by train is expensive? So we're talking about traveling, okay? Okay, let's start with the bus. Do you think traveling by bus, do you think traveling by bus is cheap? Yet, do you think traveling by bus is cheap?
No, I don't.
Why?
Mm,
Why is it not cheap? Do you think it's expensive? What do you think, Kiet? Why do you say no? Okay, Tai, what do you think? Do you think traveling by bus is expensive?
No, I don't, because it's very
Oh,
cheap.
sorry. Yeah, you think it's cheap. Sorry. You think it's cheap? Yes?
Yes, I do,
Mhm.
because it makes for students go to school.
Okay. Yes, it is very cheap because I have a student pass. So if you have a student pass or a pensioner's pass, it's cheap. If you don't have a student pass and you are just traveling in town, I'm not talking about the school bus. I'm talking about if you're traveling in town and you're an adult and you have to work and travel on the bus. If you buy a monthly ticket, it's cheaper. If you buy a weekly ticket, it's cheaper because then you can travel as many times as you want to. You don't buy per trip. If you buy per trip, then it's much more expensive, more money. So in London, we have the red buses. So when you travel with the red bus or with the underground train, if you buy one ticket or a daily pass, it's also sometimes cheaper. But if you buy a weekly pass, they give you a card and you just scan your card every time you get onto the bus. It's much cheaper than a day trip. So it's very cheap because I have a student pass, and when you buy a monthly or a weekly pass, it is cheaper, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Do you think traveling by train is boring? Here, do you think it's boring traveling by train?
No, I don't, because we can read books and looking out the window.
Yes, so you can look at the views or the scenery. So you can say, no, I don't, because I can read my book, or look at the views or the scenery, or the views are outside. So you can say outside. Okay. Do you think traveling by boat is slow? Ty, do you think traveling by boat is slow?
And yes, I do. Because it's very big and it is too fast, very dangerous.
It is slow. It takes you a while to get there. Traveling by boat is slow because the boat is big and heavy. The boat also has to travel the correct speed according to the sea level and weather. So when the boat comes into dock, when it comes to the harbor, the sea level drops because it's not as deep. So the boat needs to go slower. When it's deep out in the sea, it can go a little bit faster. But it's still slow. An airplane or a car is still faster. People don't travel by boat really anymore. Not like the old days. They maybe ship their cars or their furniture, or when you buy stock, you can ship it over by boat. Or there's a leisure boat where people go for 3 or 5 days on the boat and come back, like a holiday. But people don't really travel. You don't get onto a boat and travel to a different country. You rather get onto a plane or a train, but you don't really get onto a boat anymore. So yes, I do. Traveling by boat is slow because the boat is big and heavy. The boat also has to travel the correct speed according to the sea level and the weather. Okay, Kiet, do you think traveling by car is comfortable? Kiet, do you think traveling by car is comfortable?
I think is yes, because only 5 people mm, can in the car. So it's
Okay, what can you do when you travel by car?
I'm sleeping.
Yes, you can sleep in the car. It's not that comfortable than a train. You can sleep better on a train. But a car is comfortable because you can stop when you want. You can stop and have lunch or have breakfast or have cool drink or go to the bathroom. So, or just go for a walk and stretch your legs. So you can, a car, you can stop when you want. Where when you go by the bus and by the train, you can't stop when you want to stop. You have to stop when they tell you to stop. Okay, let me just, yeah. Okay, Do you think, yes? It's not always comfortable. Sometimes it's very, it's not always comfortable. Sometimes you feel squashed. But let's say yes, I think it is because you can listen to music, talk to each other, and stop when you need drink or the bathroom. Okay, and hi, Hong Tai, do you think traveling by plane is, let's say, expensive?
Yes, I do. Because we can view some we can look at some view and take a nice photo on the
Mhm.
sky.
Yes, but do you think it's expensive?
Uh,
Yes, it is very expensive. Okay. So, do you think traveling by plane is expensive? Do you think traveling by plane is expensive? Yes, it is very expensive. However, the traveling time is much shorter. Okay, that's all we can say there. Okay, now you're going to ask each other the questions. So Kiet can ask Tai, and Tai, you ask Kiet. You can ask any question.
do you think traveling by car is comfortable?
Yes, I think, yes, I do, because you can listen to music, talk to each other in your car, and stop when you need a drink or bathroom. Do you think traveling by bus is cheap?
As yes, it very cheap because I have a student pass, and when you buy a monthly or weekly pass, it is cheaper. And do you think traveling by boat is slow?
It's slow.
Yes, I do, because traveling by boat is the boat is very big and heavy. The boat also has to travel the correct speed according to the sea level and weather. Do you think traveling by plane is expensive?
Yes, it is very expensive. However, the traveling time is much shorter. Do you think traveling by train is boring?
No, I don't, because I can read my book or look at the view outside. Do you think travel by car is comfortable?
Yes, I think it because you can listen to music, talk to each other, and stop when you need the ring or the bathroom.
Mm.
Do you think traveling by plane is expensive?
Mm, Yes, I do, because traveling by train is much shorter. Do you think traveling by bus is cheap?
I can't hear.
I just evaluate because I have a student pass and when you buy a money or weekly pass it is cheaper.
Mm.
Do you think traveling by train is boring?
Do you think traveling by train is boring? Yet?
No, I don't, because I can read my book or looking at the view outside the train. Do you think traveling by boat is slow?
Yes, I do. Traveling by boat is slow because the boat is big and heavy. The boat also has to travel the correct speed according to the sea level and weather. Do you think traveling by car is comfortable?
Yes, I think it, because you can listen to music, talk to each other, and stop when you need a drink or the bathroom.
Okay, now I'm going to take it away and see if you can remember, okay? Let's try. Okay, let's have Thai start.
Do you think traveling by bus is boring? Is cheap?
Yes, yes, I do. It's very cheap because I have a student pass and you buy anything or weekly pass. It is cheaper. Do you think traveling by car is comfortable?
Yes, I do because we can talk talk to about something when I sit in it when and we can sleep on it.
Okay.
Do you think traveling the boat is slow?
Yes, I do because the boat is very big and heavy. The boat also has travel correct speed according to the sea level and the weather. Do you do you think traveling by plane is expensive?
Yes, I do. Because uh, it's very fast and uh, and cost lot of money to traveling it.
Mm.
Do you think traveling the train is boring?
Traveling by train, not traveling the train, traveling by train.
Traveling by trains is boring.
No, I don't because I can read my book, talk with each other and looking out the view.
Oh.
Do you think traveling by plane is expensive?
Uh, yes, I do because it's very fast and traveling by is very cost lot of money. And do you think traveling by bus is cheap?
No, I don't because I am a student, so I have student pass. Or do you think traveling by boat is slow?
Yes, I do because it's big and heavy. Do you think um traveling by plane is very expensive?
Yes, because when you travel by plane, it's much short. The time is much shorter. Do you think traveling by car is comfortable?
Yes, I do because uh we can the ride is come to everywhere and can do and can do something on it. Example sleep it uh example is an animal.
Okay, one more question, then we're going to go to the next test. Okay. One more question, Kiet.
Do you think traveling by train is boring?
Yes, I do. No, I don't because we can look at the view and take some photo when we sit on it.
Okay. Now we're going to go to test 8 and we're doing buy, what we would like to buy, okay? Do you think buying, a camera is important important? Do you think buying a camera is important? This is, do you think buying a mobile phone is useful? Here, do you think buying shoes is difficult? Here, do you think buying clothes is cheap? And the last one, do you think buying a computer is a computer or laptop is expensive? Okay. Let's do this one. Kiet, do you think buying a camera is important?
Yes, I do, because you need it to take a photo when you traveling somewhere, or you in the zoo.
I would say it depends on why you would need one. Because if you need one for work, then it is important. But if you need one for taking pictures, you can, or for taking holiday photos, then you can use your phone. You can use your phone to take pictures. So not a lot of people have cameras today. In the old days, your phone couldn't take a photo. So you had a phone and you had a camera. Now you have the camera in your phone. So a lot of people just have their phone and they take photos. But if you need your camera for work, then you need a big camera. Then you will have to buy one. It depends on why you would need one, because if you need one for work, then it is important. But if you need one for taking holiday photos, then you can use your phone. Then you don't need one. Tai, do you think buying shoes is difficult?
No, I don't, because the shoes is very cheap and we can buy it in the shop and
Okay, I would
supermarket.
say sometimes, because every make has different sizes. Every country has different sizes. So if you buy a shoe in a different country, you must now think what you have to buy. Sometimes it's too big or too small. So sometimes I wear a number 5 shoe, and if it's a slip-on shoe, I will buy a number 4. But if it's a boot, I would buy a number 6. It depends what type of shoe it is. So sometimes it is difficult because every make has different sizes and every type of shoe fits differently on your foot. So a slip-on shoe, a summer shoe, you will maybe have to wear a smaller size than a winter shoe or a boot or skiing boots. So sometimes, because every make has different sizes and every type of shoe fits differently on your foot. Kiet, do you think buying a mobile phone is useful?
Yes, I do because you can call with your friend and your family, take a photo and walk by it.
Okay, yes, I do, because you can do anything on your mobile phone. You can call, text, take photos, send emails, look on the internet, buy something on the you can pay your bills, you can use your banking app. So you can send money, you can receive money. You can call, text, take photos, send email, and many more. A mobile phone has a lot of different useful functions. So I think a mobile phone, everybody today has a mobile phone. If you don't have one, then you're either very old or you do everything on a computer maybe. But I think to have a phone, especially to call and to text. Ty, do you think buying a computer or a laptop is expensive?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because it's very important part for tools we work.
Mm. A computer is expensive, however, it's a necessity because we need it. We need it to do our homework. We need it to study online. We need it to search and do our projects. So to buy a laptop or computer is very expensive. However, it is important to have one for work, to do our homework, and to study online. So it's important, even if it's expensive, we still need it. Kiet, do you think buying clothes is cheap? Do you think it's cheap buying clothes?
I think it's sometimes cheap because when you buy very beautiful dress or t-shirt, it's very cheap. But when you buy classic t-shirt, it isn't expensive.
Sometimes clothes are cheap depending on the brand you buy. If you buy a name brand, it is expensive. But if you buy a plain, like a no-name brand, if you buy like Nike or Adidas or I don't know what, Puma, or I don't know what your name brands are in your country, then it's expensive. But if you buy in a shop where there's no, it's not that, it's like a no name, then it's cheap. Sometimes clothes are cheap depending on the brand you buy. If you buy a name brand, it is, let's say, more expensive. So let's stop there. Let's stop there. Okay, now you have 1 minute to ask each other, then we're going to come back and we won't have the writing anymore. Ty, you can ask Kiet.
Do you think buying a computer or laptop is expensive?
Yes, buying a laptop or computer is very expensive. However, it's important to have one for work, to do our homework, and to study online. Do you think buying shoes is difficult?
Yes, sometimes because every make has different style and every type of shoe fit differently on the foot. Do you think buying a mobile phone is useful